anang ha le ka bereka mmogo le tlo achieve a lot go eta go bereka in silos. So akole go tloga vandag ha re ke re change the system e ntse re bereka ka yone khale. Re ntse re tlo le bitsa from Mangaung municipality di artist go bona for na re thusana ya gona le document ntse re developer no. So I hope as and when we move together, because re tlo bereka hand in glove le Department of Sports, Arts and Culture. Re kopa go bereka le batho ba berekang ba batlang go bereka e seng batho ba ba senyang di opportunity for ba bang. Cake here is too big le ka share mo le maka grass lime, because art sector is broad. Ka mantswe a reng yalo ke kopa gore ka igatella gape, what is your generational mission? Ha re itse mission wa lena keng? Rona ke tsula mo youth mission wa rona economic freedom in our lifetime. Ha re se re achieve mission o. So it's up to you gore le felelletse se rona re se sileng. Ka mantswe a reng yalo ke kopa go batho ba dutse mo se bala ba tlogella le ba grill. Amandla.
Thank you. So, are you inspired? Are you motivated? Remember, I started off saying that we're going to have frank discussions. Re tlo bua dinete. Ra leboga mme Liu. Next up, firstly, I would like to apologize. I made a big mistake. Ntate Tumi Dithebe, the regional manager of NYDA. Can we please welcome him as well as part of the delegates? 1,000 apologies, my sir. Nahana, Poshe tunna. And I have nice stories about that gentleman. That guy has always been tibecha. I'm talking about passion ya gagwe towards the youth ya Free State. He's always involved. Since my days, Hansi Kidira, the event back in the day, about 2013, I was very young. And he was always there, mentoring, guiding, and he's still here today. So it shows, in Buang, we have the opportunities, but what are we doing about those opportunities? Kapanzerela di grante le no? Relela di grante ne? Kitlo kopa ntate Lidimu to come through. Can we please give him a round of applause? He comes from the National Office of the Department of Sports, Arts and Culture.
Ke batle ke re san bona dumelang le kae re teng ke tswa mo Blomo marano ke ikwentse ke Gauteng, and like MMC ana bua tshwantse ke bele mo Blomo ka di project ya nong ka se ka tla mahalaela ke tla hela ke tlo re no re tswa go Blomo ko Blomo wa bona. So batho beso nna ne ke re department ya rona Sport Arts and Culture, National Sport Arts and Culture, re bereka le di provinces tse tsotlhe ne le bereka le even the towns. Me Nkosazana Dlamini Zuma o simolitse so se ba reng ke district development model. With that district development model, part of the things that we are doing is to look at developing the districts, so that in each province, I was talking to Bratumi and I was talking to some of the people on the table about what Excelsior, and we're going to be doing a call for proposals again from Zanzibar Golden Economy. I know for some of you it's very unpopular, but it's an ongoing concern. It's an ongoing funding program that we have as a department. With that, part of what we said is that in Mangaung, honale Makufe, although Makufe gives Joburg artists again an opportunity, gives some overseas people an opportunity. We said through the MGE call for proposal, we're going to be looking for you to send through proposals about local land, about Lady Brand, those small towns, Tennyson. Only a new town now called Winnie Mandela. What is happening go? The legacy of Winnie Mandela. So, those of you that are thinking of these things, that are doing festivals and things, that's what we'll be looking at. And it's not only festivals, it's events. There could be a seminar like this, where you have a 3-day of information sharing, where you might even have a Free State Artists Conference. Out of that conference, you then send resolutions to the department and to other provincial department or both, or even all three spheres of government. Ne? So Marilyn Teng, I just want to even talk about, I hope that they will be inspiring. Two stories. My story, ane ke matriculate ko Lereko High School. Hane ke thola matric ko Lereko. Be ke re mo ntate wa ka ke batla ho apply lo ira art ko Fort Hare University. And my dad and I went to FNB ko Brandbach. Liburlene lili mo le irang dilo tsa student loan. Told my dad that if you study art, there's no way that I will be able to get a job. And there's no way that therefore he's going to have to pay the loan once he gets that student loan. I studied with student loan as a strategy. I went into Kiloko for Tech law for a week. Because nabata kire law, because you're in America, you can get a job if you have studied law. So I then dropped out of law and then went to the art school because I knew that I was an artist and that's what I do best. What I'm trying to get at is that I had a choice. There's a choice to do law, there's a choice to not follow your dream, but there's a choice of following your dream as well. There are strategies around it. I went into the university, I studied for a week, and after that week I knew that I'm an artist, so I went to an art school. It is important that if you are talented, you still take forward that talent. It's not enough to say that I'm talented. You need, in these creative industries, part of what you're going to be doing is to compete with the best of the best. I give you King Charles, who are England now. Prince Charles used to be Prince Charles, who is now King Charles. You saw the lady who sang the soprano there, the opera singer, an African lady. Her name is Pretty Ende. How can you Pretty Ende kwa tsante? Uza ko pleke mbari ki Peter How driver ka koloi o ya ho le ko Mpumalanga. How repeat ratifikai, you've driven through it. But what she is today, she studied music, she took forward this thing of being an opera singer, took it forward. We cannot afford her. If she has to come here today, we'll have to pay about close to R1 million for her to appear. She's not available as we speak. She's doing world tour, she's singing at the Sydney Opera House, and other venues like that are so expensive. So members of the panel, they are going to say things that I hope that you'll take forward. But again, just about departmental funding, the bursary as well. There's an important area that those of you that are entrepreneurs in this room, the department has just signed what is called the Sign Language Act. That each and every occasion and each and everything that gets done by government, sign language. There should be someone, so those sign language interpreters will have to be either, we usually will have to employ them through a company. So which means that you need to be thinking about, if you haven't started thinking about studying sign language, this might be the time to do it. If you watch and see the news, whenever the president is saying something on the TV screen, there should be a sign language. You'll see this on the 16th of June as well. So the recognition of sign language. The next big one that we are funding in the Department of Bazari, key human language technologies. At the moment, how Fonela Vodacom, you are able to press 1 for English, press 7 for Sizulu, press whatever for what language. So that is also human language technology, which is quite interesting. ATM, how press, talking on that information is someone who's on human language technology. So companies will be required. The last exciting one also on the language, we're busy with the language bill. The language bill, every act is similarly a bill. The bill is where you guys make inputs into. Or not, then you make inputs into it. There's usually a date of when it gets to be done. And then this bill, it's not a company, the translators. Every province chooses which are the provincial languages. So Free State Canary English Afrikaans, Tswana le Sotho. So it means that each and every sitting, government, legislature, or wherever there's government thing, wherever there's a government event or the public interacting with a particular department, that person, the citizen, is allowed to write to the department in any of those 4 languages that are chosen. So go tlo batla le batho- o tlo batla le batho ba translatang, translation services. So for us as government to be able to get any us to respond in any of, don't come here and do empty things, empty promises. Ka Labone, the 15th, yeah, Renali, something called the Youth Expo. That's another opportunity also to talk to some of the creatives. We're going to have a session where you'll interact with these people and actually make inputs. Program director, ke a leboha. Ke a leboga thata, ke teng, ha ke na ntsha number ya ka. This is not my event.
Ntse re tlo thola ntate Ledimo. Re batla mabitso a di-programme tseo kaofela. Because you ran through it quite quickly. So please take this opportunity or after this session. So I'm going to welcome from the National Youth Development Agency, the regional manager of the Free State. Please give him a round of applause. Ntate Tshele.
Rona taba tsa ditjhelete o kopana kae le tsona. But ke a leboga moi. And also it's been a while, yeah. But I'm so glad Jorge, you are doing what you are doing now, and yeah, I've been watching. Okay, thank you very much. Without wasting any time, Nuggets go NYDA. I'm responsible for NYDA in the province, and then we are asked to come here and talk to creative art sector. So I give you because dilo di dintsinyana ke se ke na le nako e kae mme? Okay. No, it's fine. I think it was start mo gore the artists in the Free State, we always fight gore they must be taken serious. And I think it should start with the artists as well, to start taking themselves serious. I think Ratile Sethio Asibuile Mohanare, you should refuse to perform for 5,000 when someone else is going to share the same stage for 50,000 rand. Because once you accept it, you degrade yourself immediately. And that person who booked you will never take you serious. But imagine if there is an event in the Free State, how is it going to look like? Government is here to assist, give you programs that will develop you as artists. We should also do something for us as artists to develop ourselves, because your development is your responsibility as well. I will recall this during our time. I used to be, or you don't say you used to be an artist, ne? You're an artist forever. Yeah. So during our time, we used to perform, doing music. So go na le club ko toropong go tekela Free Week. So we used to perform, we perform hip hop. So we used to have the sessions in on Thursdays, hip hop. So it was us performing the Late Napu and the others here around Mokas. So we do it ourselves. We didn't want government to do anything for us. But we are saying, let's promote and enhance each. But I understand promoters saying, now, what do you do also in terms of doing a show? I still yet to see a show. Ellen Koring is only artist in the Free State, and it becomes a big show. You make a proposal, send it to government, send it to Sports, Arts and Culture and Recreation, to say we have an event that is only catering for artists in the Free State. We don't want anyone from other provinces. It's only us here, because that's how you start. But as long as you're saying you're doing something for Free State, and yet you call someone from Gauteng or KZN to come and sell your show in your province, no one will take you serious. But you can do it, you can fail, you can do it, you can fail, up until you do it right. And also, the community radio stations, all the province, we are not doing that. So before we can start pointing fingers, we must check first on ourselves, Khori, what is our contribution? Because all of us, we have to contribute. So you need to check that and check whether am I making my contribution? Because I understand the quotas as a community radio station. I contributed to some of the radio stations when they were started, like the one in Velcom. I was part of it when it started. So you need to understand those things to say, what is our contribution as community radio stations? Artists as well. We need to also make good music. Doesn't matter where it comes from. A hit is a hit. I remember there was a time in Bokaya, they make music, good music. They were getting a product that is appealing to your market. You want to blame someone for lack of your creativity as an artist. It's not fair as well. So you need to also understand all of us, we are role players in this value chain. And all of us, we have a role that we need to play. And also when you talk of creative arts, we are not only talking about music. We are also talking about performing arts. We are also talking about writing. We are talking, it is a vast sector that we need to do. And also it goes back, I was expecting Department of Education to be brought here because some of the talents that we have seen, we are all performing the arts and everything. That's where it started. Most of the guys that we've seen who come from here, they started at school. But now, Monday to Monday. Bana 5, 6 afternoon. So, bajiswa buka waya. But also another thing, the arts go school. But what is your responsibility as artists, as producers, as people who can come and think creatively and bring these things to the Department of Education to say, let's revive the arts in schools. You understand? What are we doing? You understand? So that when you complain, at least we know that we have put a couple of proposals so that we can revive these things in schools and so on. But if you are not doing that, and the only thing that we do best is to complain, we won't move. So we need to start thinking like that. And also come back to the institution. As an institution, I, for one, my first love is arts. Much as I'm known for business development and so on, but my first love is arts. So that is why, as NYDA in the Free State, we have supported a couple of artists. We have bought people's studios to produce music. We have funded even the performing live bands. We have bought them equipment, so perform. We have done that. And we'll continue to do that. Yeah, but there are those who take chances, who will come. The guy is not known. I'll be able to forget, but I'll drop an album. I'll funding, I'll drop it soon. But one more, on a tracking on radio, community radio station, nothing. But I drop, and then about Lisa beat one, or you can only kill out beat. Yeah. But there are those people who are really talented who need support, you know. And my understanding of music, for an example, is to say, if I assist a producer, if I buy equipment, a production equipment, it means out of that production equipment that I've bought, you'll produce more than 20, 30 artists from it. You understand? So that is my understanding of the sector. And even if you check our history as NYDA, we have always been forefront in terms of supporting this sector. We once did a big project whereby we were having producers and DJs on the project. And then and it has produced so many big names now. You know, I was laughing, I was telling someone, some of the big names now, they were sitting like this and I was teaching them about commercializing the business, the music business. So Tsepo will testify as those big names. But they don't want to be associated with us now because they are big. They don't want to be honest where they come from. I'll mention those that they mention us in public, like your DJs in Hle, like Heavy K. Even Heavy K, when he won his first summer, he made shout outs to NYDA. And there are other there are some big players in Amapiano now. A big someone in Amapiano who was there. You know, there are so many of them. So we have always been like that. Sebo was one of them as well. And he never mentioned it. But it shows that we have always been, you know, forefront in terms of assisting artists as NYDA. And I'll make an appeal to you. Come with proposals that we can work on. You know, those who are producers who are doing good work, those who are DJs who are doing a very good job, and you need your equipment, come and apply. We are giving grants. And then go for grant. So if you are a DJ, if you are a producer, you know, also think like those who are in the performing arts. I don't see any industrial theater in the Free State. Because all of you think of government. There are so many things that you can do. I also used to be in the performing arts. I wrote, directed, and performed on stage. So I know what I'm talking about. So there are so many things. There are products that have been, we can do industrial theater. There are so many things that we can do. But let's come with proposal, bring it on the table, and let's see how best we can assist each other. But all I'm saying is that NYDA in the Free State, we are committed to assist the creative arts sector at any given time. Thank you very much.
Hi, 2 minutes, yeah, 10 minutes. But it's fine. Thank you very much for that. Very insightful. I picked up a few nuggets. And you took me back to when I was in high school. Narinali di cipher. Who remembers? Pekovs used to host hip-hop ciphers where we had like guys who used to rap go there. I used to be a dancer, guys. Nikishapa pop lock. And yeah, can you believe it? But I think I think I was just popular. But we used to have those, and we actually created those platforms ourselves. We used to pay our own fees, go Pekovs. Like, nere gazeta mo. Re dira show, re kisa ticket 10 ranta. And we used to like bet on each other, crew versus crew. Do you guys remember those days? Or am I speaking to the wrong people? Am I old? I look 5, ne? I look 5, but actually, ke also motunna. But I mean, what Date Ditebe is talking about is absolutely true. We used to create those platforms. Now, hi Friday. Hi, re guy. Rona ne re Friday, ne re Pekovs, ne re tsama ka maoto. Kasi to kasi, people used to go ka maoto ba ya Pekovs, re lo shebellana. Literally, we used to download each other's music. Kabo B53, kabo ne bijwa yone yo. Like BMP 53. We used to be able to download each other's music. Do you guys remember those days? Hey, Lena. Get so whole. I come from far with this industry, especially in the Free State. So it's possible, ne? Let's refocus. Mel, you literally planted a seed. What legacy are you leaving behind? I like to say this when I address young people. I like to ask, we are trendsetters, we are influential, but what are you influencing? Who are you influencing? I'm going to give it over to our Provincial Youth Directorate, Metswelo Pili, Atlore Adresa, as youth within the youth, for the youth, youth and Dala. Let's give a round of applause.
Where must I stand? I'm very shy. Dumelang? Alimpidi vibes. No, kusaba batho. Alimpidi vibes. Dumelang? Hi. Kena Tsolosi. Yeah, Tsolosi. Okay, I'm from the Office of the Premier, working with young people in the Free State, and I am very happy to be here. Tamilele Rie. Wow, thanks guys. No, thank you very much. I am not alone. I am with the team from the Office of the Premier. We've got Njabulo Mahubo. He is a youth coordinator in the province, responsible to Thabo Mofutsenyana. And we've got Ntate Masamani, who is responsible for children in the Office of the Premier. And of course, there's me, the allegation that I'm responsible for young people. I had prepared 7 pages speech that no briefer, but nah, it's not gonna work. So this year's theme for 2023 is being celebrated as accelerating youth economic emancipation for a sustainable future. Accelerating youth economic emancipation for a sustainable future. So this is what's up. That's the theme they've developed, given due to the challenges that young people face from all the sectors, creative, economic, entrepreneurial, academic, you name it. So the key word that ke batla ho isia le lona is economic. Because until we gain access into the market, regardless of which sector you're in, you will never be part of the food chain. You will always get the breadcrumbs. Long understand, ne? So we must get into access so that we can get into the food chain. And then we begin with economic liberation. Now, provincial government overall is responsible, like Ntate Mleleki said, facilitating and coordinating, advocating for some of these opportunities. Mara, here's the problem that we find in most cases with young people. Where there's an opportunity, there's always an element of compliance, because we're not running with our money as government. It's people's money that we must account for. But young people in all sectors, creative, you name it, ha re batlo comply. And then we go back and say, government is not doing anything for us because you are requested to bring 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The second aspect, you want to work alone as a person, but when you're organized, your voice becomes clearer, because we will know that this particular issue needs to be addressed because it's organized. Here's the arts, here's the DJs, here's the actresses, here's the book writers, you know, all the categories, but organized so that you've got a clearer voice and your objectives and what you seek to achieve becomes clearer. The industry that we are lacking and not tapping into as the Free State is the tourism industry. How do we, as young creatives, play a role in ensuring that Free State becomes the destination of choice? Because literally we are at the heart of the country with so much potential, but we are sitting back and watching the opportunities fly by. So guys, we are here as government, from national, from the province, to say we are here to, and let me tell you, the most important thing you can do as a young person, regardless of which sector you come from, is to build your brand. You know, you must be known to be a brand, because once you become a brand, you become an asset and you attract. So build your brands so that when you come across and look for these opportunities, you are worth remembering and pursuing your dreams. With that said, Njabulo will be here for the rest of the session. I have to go and attend to another one, but he will be here to take and share our details. Now you can take my cell phone, I don't mind, and call me. I will assist you. It's my job, and I love helping and working with young people. So, Zolo Suketile, have a productive day, and please leave with an action plan. Bind us, because the national department is the host, so that you come back and say, what happened to the plan of action that we drew up? Have obtained something. Even if it's one item, it makes a difference. So yeah, enjoy yourselves. Ne? Thank you.
Rekopa cell phone number.
060 980 1449. No, 060 144. Man, bona linkeza stage shy jalo. Yo, batho ngiyathitha. Oh, somebody has my number here. Ka ikutlwa important here. Like utla. Thank you very much.
Okay, Retlain's number ne. Asa, you'll share the number. Okay, I promise we will share that. So much, just share it now. Because Banchi will like, gotta remark. Are we still warm? Sorry, had it. Can it? Okay. Thank you very much to our delegates. Okay. The number is
060 980 1449. Ketsoelos, who makes things happen for Basha. 060 980 1449. Ke yona Oswelos ne?
okay. We are now about to get into the part that we all came here to do. My favorite part, where I get to talk. Gile batho ba bang chance, now it's my turn to talk. And funny enough, when they were briefing me, I said, now you must be very specific on how long you want me to speak, because now I can talk. I get this is how I make my money, right? So it's part of the arts. Started on theater, started dancing, I was rapping. And now I'm making money from it, right? And that's why we're here today. What is that skill? What is that talent? What is that thing that you are so good at? What is that issue that you face as a child and you saw an opportunity? Ntate Itumeleng Mudibedi over there, you know, who's starting something so amazing to encourage people that stutter. Because he used to stutter. And then he realized, haona moto o supportang batho ba stutterang. There's an opportunity. Are we really this blind? Are we blind? We're not blind. So every day, you can identify there's a gap. There's a gap. But we've got this mentality. Kemetse government. We've got brains. We hear things. We converse. We speak to our peers. There's always an opportunity. I'm going to sit down. Can you just switch on this mic for me? One, two, 1, 2. Okay, am I audible? Langudla. Langudla. Bakopa volume. Bakopa volume. All right. So we're going to start off this panel discussion. I'm picking up a little bit of feedback. Once you get into your craft, you start learning body manzunyana bo feedback, bo echo. Obenka go professional ma actually. Utwala tsui le shapo. I want us to relax. Okay. So I'm actually going to do something a little bit different because Gabana Nkare le never senyana. I'm going to do an illustration that I call the Woman Thunder Force, but today we're going to rephrase it. We're going to call it the Youth Thunder Force, okay? But I need you to participate with me, otherwise this thing is not going to work. So I want you to take out your palm like this. And tell it all. Take out one finger, right? Start tapping in your thumb. We all have to do it together, ne? So thunder comes from rain, right? So now we're starting off. It starts like this, before it starts beating momentum. But this one finger actually illustrates you. This is when you identify who you are, what changes you want to make, you identify an opportunity in whatever industry, and you're thinking about this dream, right? Now add the second finger. Yeah, the rain is getting a little bit stronger. What is happening at this point? We are collaborating. Sekeshera le Mapaseka. Hi Mapaseka. Nna ke na le ntho e so le so. Mapaseka a re, nna ke na le ntho e so le so. We're collaborating. We start making rain. What happens when we add the third finger? Yeah. Pula yana. Pula yana. This is us sharing resources. Come on, let's do it together. We're sharing resources. We're sharing our ideas. We're sharing our platforms. What happens when we add the fourth finger? The world celebrates us. Re na le bothata as the youth. We want to do things in silos. But we need an ecosystem, guys. Everything that gets produced in a value chain, there's someone that starts, and there's whatever it is that you're dreaming about. Think about the Thunder Force. Oh, at least I look good. Ne? So I'm a good thing to think of. I'm taken. I'm someone's wife, please. But think of the impact you can make if you collaborate. Like Renale Bothata. And what we normally do as Free Staters, someone is popping, we're not celebrating them. We're not coming, whatever. I'm making such layman examples, but that's how dire the situation is in the Free State when it comes to youth. Our own stumbling block. Are we warm? Clap your hands for me now. Clap hands for me. So, ke kopa le ska e utswa ntleng. Ha ke say copyright. Khona di copywriting what's in the building. Please hook me up. I need to really copyright the Thunder Force. It's an illustration that I do. So my name is Moe Mohapi. I am also known as the host with the most, radio presenter, online TV presenter, motivational speaker, and I'm also a public speaking coach. So if Linalebo stage, it's expensive, guys, you know. Use resources at our disposal to make ends meet. Because are we in agreement? Are we still awake? Okay, so I'm gonna start my opening. I've gone now back and forth because I'm trying to get you guys engaged. And but it's fine, it's been a long morning. So today's discussion, it's called the 2023 Youth. Thank you. Yes, that's the energy we need, child. That's the energy we need. And then we've got Asavela Mbata, who is also a radio presenter on CUTFM. And she's also head of marketing at Bon Hotel here in Bloem. That's big. Sale batla accommodation da body venue yalo yalo. That's the lady to speak to. And Obuti Mbulelo Kataza, but also known as Legudi, we wanna party. So that's also well-renowned DJ and also entrepreneur. So today we're going to be talking about the creative arts sector. We've kind of touched a little bit about what it's about, but we all know creative arts is vast. It's not only about Mapaseka as the actress, but behind Mapaseka there's a crew. There's the camera crew, there's the makeup crew, there's a script writer, there's a director, there's a producer, there's the studio, and the list goes on and on and on. Mare rona ha re batla ho fitla ko Mapaseka, re bona Mapaseka is the only pinnacle and the only definition of what creative arts is. Really? How many of you have a journal where you write your things down? Kapa am I too, you know? Khona batho ngwalang di journal, ba ngola, you write your emotions. You could be writing a book, you could be writing a devotional book, you could be writing a storyline for a movie, a film, a documentary, and we take journaling so lightly. Campus in One in South Africa, pre-COVID, was contributing 1.7% of the GDP. 1.7. And when we talk financially, this is 74.4 billion. Pre-COVID. We know that in our province, pre-COVID, the creative arts sector was already struggling. Are we in agreement? What were the fights? Later on, and their provincial pride when it comes to entertainment sector, for instance. I'm not saying KZN. You won't. You won't do it. But why do we allow it here in the Free State? That's the conversation today. It's not government's fault. It's our fault. Event curators, event promoters, sponsors, corporates, we have created this stigma that when you're from Free State, shame. I know Omang, I know Mowi. Mowi ne ke tsena sekolo le ena, I know mplela ka Mowi. I can reka ticket, ke lo dira Mowi rich. I'm not going to that event. And that is our problem. I started off the conversation saying, we are our own barrier, but it's very easy to blame someone else. It's very easy to blame government. Shamefully, when ke son, but we've got an attitude problem that we need to start addressing on the real, guys. Are we in agreement? I think so too. So today's conversation is really about that. COVID happened. COVID literally killed the creative arts. It killed it. Kana kwenze sokola already, because here's the problem with creative arts. Kibona Lugudi ki DJ, Lina Kilona DJ, Lina Kilona the same songs as Lugudi. But what is your unique selling proposition? All be MCs. I don't mind. I teach a lot of MCs. I train a lot of MCs. But I always ask, what makes you unique? Because otherwise, the pie becomes small. You can only book Mowi for this. You can't book anyone else because only she can do it like this. But if you try to copy Mowi, because there's already a place for Mowi. So you have to create your own. And that is why we're here today. I'm opening your mind to the level and the depth of the conversation that we want to have. They put me in charge. Maybe blame me, I don't know. But I see life differently. I love the Free State. Everyone is always asking me, oh, yeah, I'm in Joburg. You also get that, right? You don't get that. You from Joburg, and a bonot guy. Right here. Now people are always asking me, you'll make it big. And I keep on saying, nah, I want to be a pioneer in my own province. We don't have to leave. We don't. We have ample opportunity, but we must have pride. So getting into the conversation, I didn't even touch on half of the things that I wanted to talk about. But in this instance, and I've also briefed my panelists, it's not about Matata per se, but I want to hear the challenges they faced trying to penetrate through this industry. Because I'm pretty sure it wasn't easy. It's not like you went to your first audition. Some of you have heard your story. Those that follow you, see you. Exactly. So, Mapaseka, let's go into, I want to say briefly, but not briefly. Haribueka, when you decided to go into this sector, what inspired it?
Dumelang, Nankut. My mic is. Okay, Ole.
Skatima mai, kitling.
Thank you. Dumelang. I'm so happy to be home. First of all, I get like a hola, no snan to take the Gidibona Hona Jwale way, unless if next where we can sit and have conversations about the arts and whatnot. And and I'll explain why. Unfortunately, there's no way I'm going to share my story without Matata. And I have nothing to offer but my story. Because every time I invite you, I buwale ditakataka kapa story mushomo high school sako actor una hate go auditioning but hey, we're looking for someone like you. It happens, but you know nothing. There's no thing. I was quiet, I was loud, and then I found myself. I'm still trying to find myself even today. So go primary wa ema pele wa acta, you acted. Bana ba siya le bana. But no, at least the baby daddy does zamanyana re go zamanyana ka something. He left us with nothing. Ntate na decide gore we tsamela ka TV. A re tse dintseng kana ka di sia nna ke tsamaya ka TV. Today ke mo eng? Ke mo TV. Ha qeta o tsamaya ka TV gore nna I don't know how I'm going to enter this TV, but one day ke batla go tlhaga mo TV. Ha ke soka ke batla go nna doctor, ha ke soka ke batla go nna mistress nna. Ha e sale ke iponahela ke batla go tsena ka gare ga TV, ke tlhage go TV. So that's where my love for acting started. And then obviously you ask yourself, how about ke mo Rockland tse ka ke go itlhayang go TV. And it's said that or I'll get DMs, people talking to me on Facebook. The auditions the agent. I give information where I can. Because sometimes people think how TV already will try to producer, therefore, hey, sometimes I was not even told the auditions. So it's not like we are being selfish kind of information or anything like that. But sometimes when you hear that information, I'll share on my DMs or whatever, apparently there's auditions, go Scandal or Rhythm City or whatever. And then fast forward here to going to high school, extramural activities for me, it was acting. No, the school is after school. Allowed my mom, what let my mom allow because also now times are tough, it's not safe. Practice student loan, I applied for a student loan. Ya study acting. And after banabating, batswadi ba bone banale chelete. Banaba was oh my God, the first day, my first day, I'm gonna write a book about my first day go after. How do you feel like I wanna hore di koloi ki tsele di ka ntle mole? And I'm thinking, oh my God, hey, the lecture tse, ke di koloi tsa di student. Now I walk out from Brixton to school every morning. Got the pumps. I do the pumps. Mr. Bryson. Because my issue here is all of you guys are in between waiting for that dream to happen to trying to figure out how to make it happen. But what do you do while you're waiting for the dream to happen? I did everything. I used to be that girl ko di robotong o fanang ka di flyer go news cafe ya bula le gudi watla DJ bamba watla ne ke fana ka dilo ko di robotong. I used to do promotions. I was a receptionist, and I told myself that in between that and me being an actress, I will excel in everything that I do. If right now you're a cleaner, clean my girl. You're not gonna end there. If right now mistress, you're not gonna end here because your dream is bigger than where you are right now. So those are the challenges. I don't wanna lie. I didn't have it. Audition local Rhythm City, I was so mad. Nekile call back, I didn't get it. I stopped watching it. That's how mad I was. Ukila wana call back, kucho kwale hope ya ungenile. Kasi I agree. And then I realized later, oh, there's also the thing called timing, yamudim. God knew that there is no other person. How can say you phone likitla phone lwakemang? And the whole thing, Free State here, we're proud to go Free State. Now I'm gonna be honest. I'm hardly booked here at home. Here, I am hardly booked. I'm not gonna I am hardly booked. When you say no, scratch write her off. Pel Tusi comes. Give an example. Yo, Otlo kry fear high. Aba kreli di botolo tsa dinwang a tswa tsamaya le ka puo a sa ibunye simpo ya mo. We still have those same struggles. I'm from here, but for the fact that I'm from here, so that thing know your worth in. Unfortunately, at home, it's very tricky to say that I know my worth and kita ke patala tšhelete ke patala. Iya Limpopo, iya Botswana, iya Lesotho. How re fia how ba re la ro batla mona. So why is it that like that? Mo ile hore motho o buang sezulu tsa o ngisho mina nginana ye ni khona. If I would think of another place to open a second, saying this because I come here all the time. Ke na le letswalo la hore ke tla tloha ke bula shopo ka Central Park be le sa tle le tlo reka ka hore ke ngwana wang. So that whole thing of Basotho, Batswana, Bahaye, Free State, ha re supportane, it is not a joke, it is real. We bona le ka di AR mo TV, how shebile TV o. Isibaya was a Zulu a telenovela. It did well because of Mazulu. Ashebella Isibaya. The ARs were very sad. Hobaneng Basotho le bangata kana kana. Isibaya was doing well. My friends were back then, they were booked, got KZN left, right, and center. Kabakala Isibaya. Impa fela rona re ipela ka puo like you said, ha ke na go bua puo e nngwe nna, I'm sorry. Ha o ka bua le Zulu le nna ke tlo go pendula ka Setswana ke re hela yalo go yalo na ke itse ntsoreng. But it's about, I'm not going to depend on the government. I will try my best. And once you are in the industry, you also realize that, oh my God, there's no money. I'm not going to lie to you. There's no money. But each and every one of us, Modimo re feel a favor. I'll make an example with what my favor is. My favor is my stardom. I get TV. Meaning that, what do I do with the stardom? I get it. Okay, Razama, yes, but I'm on TV. Meaning that my favor is the star or being on TV. So what do I do with that while I'm still hot? Because unfortunately with TV, today you are hot. When you're off screen, you are not. So what do you do while you're still trending? Everybody shop, go Hyde Park. Can you favor? Thank you.
There's so many things that you touched on that I absolutely loved. I'm going to park it. We're going to go back to it. Social media is actually one of them, because that's how I made money during COVID. Now it's making money online. I mean, that's the reality. On where are we prioritizing our energies on? I always say the youth of today, if you're a youth today, and youth is 18 to 35, ne? Please. Only over youth and dala. You are still there, but youth and dala. If you're youth right now, you're fortunate, because one foot of yours, either with your old generation, and then the other foot is in the new school. So imagine, pre-technology, during technology, post-technology, that's where we are. I mean, that's power. And if we don't realize the resources at our disposal, happen next year, we're going to have the same conversation. Every youth day, we're going to always sit here and have the same conversation, and nothing's going to change. So talking about challenges, more is, because I know the thing is about creating, I was talking about the governance and compliance that has to be attributed to this. You need to be a formal product and a formal asset. We get it. We do great. How do you sustain that into a business? So, Asavela, you deal with a lot of brands, different brands, small, medium, large. And what are some of the challenges as a corporate? I'm going to tap into as a corporate, because you are your personal brand as well as a presenter. But as a corporate, thing that you've picked up, that is a real challenge to try and move the needle for those in the creative space. It's a big one. I'll help you.
I'm not sure which mic is on.
I don't know which mic is on.
Still up? Okay.
Yeah, let's use the roaming mic.
Good day, everybody. My name is Asavela Mbata. In my personal capacity, I am a broadcaster. And in my professional capacity, I pay tax due to being the head of marketing at Bond Hotel, Bloemfontein Central. And I'm going to park the tax because it's another important aspect of the arts.
Yes.
Because when money comes in, the compliance also has to be seen to. So, Moe, it's a very big question, and I'm going to try narrow it down as simple as possible. So how I'm able to deal with those, I get a lot of proposals in my life, in my day. I'm not sure, sorry if you thought I was on my phone. It's some of them following up. Ngitao. Saliki ngitao. It happens.
Yeah.
So what helps me is that before I was this professional sales and marketing giant that I've become, I first started out as a child growing up like Mapaseka. I think Ongundanga somehow because Bo backstage and the likes inspired me to be fascinated about entertainment. And at some point, I wanted to be in music because I'm a pastor's kid. So at church, I was always at the forefront of the choir because the youth is out in the streets and someone has to sing, and it would either be me and my siblings. And that's why I was like, hey, there's something there. And you establish so many elements that make the overall product come to life. So fast forward to my career and having to engage with different artists, different producers wanting to put something up, and they need sponsorship from me as a corporate. Some by getting your number, you know, they would feel that, okay, get in. And I'm like, okay, Hotel, there is processes in place, there is measures in place that we need to be in with the brand at large. So where I would reject, it would reject with saying that, okay, take these pointers into account. I'm rejecting you because, number one, something as simple as not getting my branding correct, the brand name. I have to answer to something as we need to do. Are not being told a body that has capacity to sponsor you.
Yeah.
So from Mapaseka road brand Ligudi, and how does it align back to my brand that is already sustainable? So, Gigenya Skolo most of the time.
Yeah.
Because it's not because I get likely to see other people succeed. Like I said, at heart, I'm a creative. At heart, I wanted to see myself on bigger stages. That's why I think a house. I had a clock. At that time, so you can imagine. I grew up in a really small town. So guys, I'm gonna try and narrow everything about me. So you really understand how I pushed, you know, to get where I'm at in corporate.
Yeah.
Giving up a dream, but still saying that, you know what, my dream personally is so Asavela Mbata, having wanting to be an artist. It didn't happen, but I understand those that are still persisting because they're fortunate enough to have someone that gives them a roof to lay their head so they can wake up the following day and continue. I didn't. I was in Joburg. I left my mom in Bloem. A year after we moved to Bloem, I said to my mom, I'm not going to uhlala pha mama because this is my dream. And she was like, okay. I was 19, I moved. And like I said, 9 o'clock, leave class, go home. I get home at like 10 o'clock. Following morning at 5, I need to be up to take a taxi to work. So you can imagine. And I'm studying something I'm not even doing in my day at work. But because of what? I've got the dream, I've got the passion, I made sure that I do it. But the blessing that I found in that was that I was learning structure in corporate. I was learning, much as I want to be an independent artist as an individual, I am a product, I am a service.
Yes.
And how do I align that, package it, you know, put it together, and where do I take it? Because it is a sale. Everything that you do is a sale. In a sense that you need to position yourself, take yourself out, and then someone needs to buy into it. So therefore, that's where I'm saying that in my day-to-day business, over and above, like Moe said earlier, that I sell accommodation services. Over and above selling accommodation services and dining experiences, I have the business element that is behind everything else that you do not see at glance from, you know, running a hospitality establishment. I deal with creatives, which are, mind you, an integral chain that ties up to what I do. Someone mentioned a value chain earlier. That's what the entertainment is. It is tied up to another, you know, another sister industry that makes it function. So I really hope by us having opened, I'm not saying we're opening up this can for the first time. I was telling Maury earlier, we make it a habit of meeting at these dialogues because why do we keep having these conversations? Because we're not near where we need to be as the youth. I've got a year left being a youth member, and
Youth member.
yeah, according to South African definitions, but I still feel very much young at heart. So us is to say that we've had the conversations, we've spoken to the creatives, or now individually in this sector that we're talking to, and we know what are the stumbling blocks or the limiting wedges, and who are the gatekeepers. You know what I mean? Because I am a hotel, guys. I am a corporate. But hangata, most of the proposals that came to the responsible department so much. And I'm like, we can't be having people that are obviously putting efforts themselves, you know, approaching corporates to say that please help me, very supportive to the creative sector. I got into hospitality right at the beginning of COVID. But during COVID and post-COVID, or well, we're still during the stages of post, I'm still willing to, both myself and my management team, we're still willing to listen to creatives that are like, listen guys, this is what we wanna bring to Bloemfontein. It's gonna put the city on the map. It's gonna, you know, bring in feet into the city, and feet mean money. But then again, there is someone with bigger capacity not seeing the vision that I, as a person who's not in the space, sees the vision. Yeah. Like I said, perhaps it's because at heart I wanted so much to be in the creative space, but circumstances made me realize that, listen, see to paying the bills first, and then should it happen, you will get back to it. So my thing really is to say, Me Abuiling, our MMC, she hit a lot of nerves for me. And there was someone wanted to start. Mapaseka, you mentioned that everything that there is now was not there back in the day, but the state is worse. The why is really can't be answered by us. So we've got corporates that are willing. But then again, what I always appeal to creatives to do is that at least get the admin right. I think, yeah, I prolonged my answer.
No, I love it.
It should have just been to say, get the admin right. What is the admin? Abdibu Dumelo stood here earlier. He's one of the people that are willing to work with the youth. And Lena, he would tell you that if I reject you, I will tell you why. The responsibility is up to you to come back to say, hey, down. You say no. Why? Sometimes I willing that corporates are willing to assist you. Do the right thing, and don't be scared to ask.
You touched on certain people. Another first question I asked, like this person did not apply their mind, and not saying it in a bad way, because I will correct you. A lot of the people know me because Linda Ketra from hospitality, and I was doing a lot of coaching, a lot of mentoring outside of my job to try and help, because I don't want you to fall short and make the same mistake. But your brand has to align to the brand you want to associate with. Do you understand me? So you'll never know which brand you can associate with if you don't know what your brand is about. And that's the problem. So tlabona Pablo Grille sponsora ko MTN, kapa ko Vodacom or whatever. The next thing, I have to emphasize on this. You guys do this proposal, exciting, or when I platinum gold. I keep proposal, you shut that down because you are boxing me. If you are platinum sponsor, you get 4 tags. If you are gold, I get with your documentation, because apply your mind. How does my brand fit into your corporate strategy, to fit into your return on investment, and we both benefit? And it's like this now, because COVID happened, unfortunately. Pre-COVID, brand has to report back, what's the value of partnering with something like this? And that's why it's so strict. Compliance is strict. I don't know if you guys remember, during COVID time, there's fruits and vegetables that have been selling. Get your paperwork in order. It doesn't cost a lot of money now to register. So instead of being on TikTok for 5, during COVID, we did it very well. I would be like on Vusi Tembakoya's thing, then I'm on this, then I'm on that, then I'm on that. And then other people were doing TikTok challenges. It's okay, to each their own. But now you see the results now post-COVID. While we're going through post-COVID, go na le batho ba advancitseng. Wena o ntse o le kwa le government 350. 350. So look at 350. I feel like that's actually crippling us more than anything. But we need to really have deep conversations, man. Like, are we really considering the role that we're playing? Kapa, are we playing dumb? Right? So now we get into Budije. There's a stigma around creative arts. It's not because my life is fast, man. The DJ, man, you know. Are they making see have the funeral plan, sustainability, thinking about the future? Because I get it, the career that you choose in the creative arts is exactly that. It's supposed to sustain you for a lifetime. Crowdfunding. No, so Nilijo crowdfunder, Dr. Malinga, Dubai. He went to Dubai. But he was struggling not so long conversations with ourselves. But he's allowed to. Okay, and here's the thing, your reaction. It shouldn't be like that. You should be proud about the amount that you charge. Give back, which is about growing the industry. So, Lagudi, let's talk about the viability of finances in the entertainment space. Because every weekend, and we get lost in it, to be honest. So, because I do believe that you're artist management, and it's a career. Let's talk about that.
All right, dumelang ka lebitso ke utlwa. Oh, okay. Ke Mbulelo Khathaza ke tswa Masilo Tennyson. I get to blow on I pride myself in coming from Tennyson. First things first, I'm not happy with how some things are conducted here. We spoke about a youth dialogue, and we're going to have representatives from the the rest they have commitments, but sacrificing that time. Other than that, the industry is not growing. Blomo Free State okay, my stage name is Legudi. Like it's Tennessee. Kitle Blomo 2007. Kitlo complete my high school. I came here hospitality at CUT. It's a Bachelor of Sciences. Hubua di metaphor study music, and they say they only take 25 students per year for UFS. So I asked which space do you have Momotoka study, and they said media studies and journalism. That's why I did media studies and journalism. My final year, I decided this is not for me as well. Because the module mono acting, and I honestly wasn't good at that. One time, exam, we went to the way it came on, I went blank. Not for me. I love working with my hands, especially Gantotzamtlakas. Decided to register go CUT. It's like change the course also without the knowledge of my family. Which is and all of that. Go UFs. I was very interested in radio and Holate. So I would pass by Takanem Bridge, I'd see Bo Shakes Kumalo, Bo Tobias, Bo DJ Mavosana. And that would be so inspiring for me because I'm a boy from a young town, Hadiyud radio station in Botenese. And that's where I drew my inspiration. Kitloba Jologa Hot Manele. And Nigla Kopana Lila Nyane a lot. Kilake Ke no Reme sister Fokam Pachan, Sifunga Baladitava. Or guys at the pizza bar. Imagine the pizza bar, Fukov CFN. And one of the ignore. Because I mean, and yeah, that time I never to tap into the music. They do right, and this is what they do wrong. Like Mapa said, but so yeah, a sound tech, but he wasn't a DJ at that time. So the resonate small shows Kadi Friday. Sometimes the DJs they booked Nediso Kadi Fika. and I would just get lali. But they had Spanico Velco to do sound. It was at a stadium, indoor, Nebabula Sports Center, Kokasi. And then Berisa Soundo, they booked DJ Christos and Black Coffee at that time. And I took it upon myself to play music. I didn't subject myself to that. Nasal Fikilanka, risky, kadala. And that time, Holo in LL empty. As Keshebile Fats, I think within 2 songs, when I pulled up my head and looked at the crowd, Holo ile kaitle, 2 Hosani, 14 June. Dancing to what I was playing. Spreading Horidiring, Mangaung Beach Party back then. Nerele 5, it was a crew. Inelina, Immortal, DJ 20, Sub-Zero, Snow Black. We were very problematic because the one thing we did is regularly criticize the DJs that came before us. Man, occupy the space, you know, and that was wrong. That was wrong. I saw that as time went, instead of criticizing these people, we should be learning from them. Sharp. Years went on. Some guys were focused on their craft, some were not. But the only thing you need to do is to believe in yourself, and who believe in yourself, even if you don't have the talent, but your confidence can unlock so many doors for you. Got those opportunities as they came. Kopan Almajita, Bo Pablo, Babangata. Kopa di slot di klabong, some would say yes, some would say no. And it's 2 p.m. I would play for staff, but going back home, my heart would be so much at peace because I did something that I love at that time. You know, it was not even about the money. As time went, I tutor how to present yourself. Image is very important. How you dress, how neat you are, and how you conduct yourself. DJ or a public figure, but every time there's a quarrel on Facebook, how you reply to people and all of that. From Leila and Shakes. I would see articulation, you know, and I would pick up a lot of stuff from them. And then years went on, we discovered that we relate to Leila. I didn't even know Leila, Mona Fela saw radio station. And that's how we built relationships. Leba to Babanga, Tabo Sheikh Sibo, Nabo Pablo, because by Irisa Sound, he would ask for my speakers, I would ask for his cables, Reza Dispani. And then, time went. Not every gig I get is because of my manager. Sometimes I sell myself. Not sell myself in that horrible sense, but they take these to the promoters to say, this is what I can offer you. You will see. And that's how I grew. And my biggest breakthrough came when I was playing at Cubana. On a show called Fast. It was only hip hop back then. So I would sit and analyze where's man. At a certain time, and I would wonder why. Then I picked up man, people get bored of Mamela Triwani the entire night. Because it was only hip hop, and it was not any genre. Till I asked Shakes or Rema Hotman, just give me 15 or 20 minutes, and we'll see. That time, Gom was big. Gom was big at that time. PH came, he's from Metro FM. I didn't even know him at that time. I was playing after him. Adlala, then came myself on, Kadlala, and it was a mess. PH even came and asked him, and I'm like, yeah, sure, no case. Kadlala, back to back, Elena, and throughout my entire set, he kept complimenting me. Emma, you have an ear for music, your timing, your transitions, they dope. That week, first was on a Sunday. On a Thursday, got a DM from him. If I'd be interested to be a resident DJ on his show on Metro FM. I'm like, Yeah, I couldn't even believe, but I can profiling I check, he's verified. Yeah, now true. Sure, man, what's in it for me? You know, I'm not talking about money. He's like, you play every third Saturday of the month. I got a DJ from KZN, so you'll be representing Free State. I'm like, oh, no, sure thing. I'll bring myself to Jozi if I have to. And he's like, if you want to play live, come through. And I would take my own money, Leila. I tell her, Leila, we're going to Jozi, I'm playing Go Metro this Saturday. Drove to Metro, played that on its own opened so many roads for me. Like, investing in your own self can do so much for you. And if we can see us. Played on Metro. That's when I started meeting a whole lot of celebrities. I was a very rebellious child on Twitter, Facebook. Some would never forget what I said to them, go Twitter, but when I meet them personally, they'd be like, how am I trolling you on social networks? Or you even respectful. And I'd apologize for that, we move on. And they would start posting, or there's this boy that's playing on Metro, who's this guy, who's this guy? I remember I look up to Shimza a lot, DJ Shimza. Leena one time, he DM'd me on Instagram. And puts the name of the song I was playing on the show at that time. Shimza. I saw that as an achievement. I'm like, man, what's about getting it? Pay email how kapa number ko sendela WhatsApp and sendela number WhatsApp. Kam sendela, he saved my number. I started seeing his WhatsApp statuses. That show no I am to say the number. Like important. Years went by, met Tilly, who's Casper's manager. He started putting me on the show high. I got the reaction from social network was very, very overwhelming. People started following me, checking out my mixes, and that's how I got bookings, and that's how I got relevant, if I should say. And then, came body feel up. At times I would check the lineup and I'd realize, I'm the only DJ from the Free State on this lineup. And my first ever debut at Feel Up was when I was the official DJ for the after party. That time I'm an unknown someone, you know. Got there, I rocked them. When I turned my back in Eli Boiti, there's Casper dancing on the table and he's like, I goodies. I know Fana, I was chasing, you know, and that really pushed me. And I would look at Leila at that time and she would be full of tears in her eyes to say, my boy, you come far, you know, and more than anything else, I'm proud because you know, you come from a small town and English proper Leila, you know. Sometimes next time we explain it. Now as time went, I made DJ industry friends, you know. Some are wrong, some are good. So now my mission in life is when our dreams and our visions don't align, you know. My circle of DJ friends is very complex and it's people that I'm way ahead of him, but namutu inspire. You know, some are here, you know, production, you know, what I do wrong, what I do right. A DJ would compliment you to tell you, I'm fair to this is what you're doing right, this is what you're doing wrong, you know. Yeah, so above everything else, Leila has always been there since day one till date, she's there. And it also makes it easy for me because I get a lot of bookings. Sometimes I overbook. I can share about DJ. I have to be in Lesotho, I have to be in Kwakwa, and I'll check a distance. So the importance of having a manager, it's like that. She can plan the route and sometimes keep on about Holandi gig. So one thing about me is I've learned so much from people that came before me, you know. It's nice to see some of them here. Some I don't have a personal relationship with. People DJ Lemi, I see Tumis here, you know. It's people that I've seen on social net. Bo Casper good. Maybe lo nam padi CDs a high zakhale mutuna. Nekidlala ka tsona. Neng be di haka. Onampa music I always sing hanyana because he knows I love old school music. I would learn so much from people that came before us. But the saddest thing is, when it comes to the industry, a lot of our leaders expect us to grow and pride ourselves from Oregon Free State, which is highly impossible. It's highly, highly impossible. How do you rotate the same people every day and expect those that are coming after them, bahol? They're not. If you keep using the same people all the time, it lo feleletsa e bora. It lo feleletsa e bora. I mean, I'll be straightforward because we be straightforward. Every post I have, event it's a holo. How to line up of you know Tebo is there. Onalbo Tebo Muruti Wabtabelo, why can't he be given an opportunity learn? Otomakati. But there's a young girl from Kasi who is rocking the world. See who Wananta Teshala. You know, a lot of people know her, you know. Otabo Bizabo Pel 2 see Onalbo Mapasek. Pel 2 South check I charged 108, ridiculous amounts. But when they want to negotiate you. So this industry, I'm Free State, it hurts. It hurts. Now always clarify. Remember Nikili Lockdown House Party. Robert Boy introduced me all the way from Bloemfontein. And I couldn't talk at that time because I was behind the decks. I played, after my set, I clarified I'm from Tennessee. It's a town out of Bloem. Even if Lerinyani, but in Tite, Bahali Babangata, saying, Lenna Keliso, you know. And Otame Otlerifa or Sharp, I reside in Bloem, but I'm not from Bloem, you know. Because I don't know what happens in Bloem and the gatekeeping that happens in the industry. Every big event, your government or your aim, it's the same people all the time. Because during sound check, so that's beside the point. But if they are saying we should take ourselves serious, how do they expect Rinke serious if born ourselves they don't take us serious? A lot of promoters from Joburg come to Bloem, but it's a chelte batsama. You can never do that as a Bloem kid, or your KZN, or your Gauteng, or Tlabolaua hampe. They will even write you off. Yeah. So, the whole day, but yeah. In summary, that's Ligudi, and that's how Ligudi came about. Thank you.
There we go. I love the journey. I love the journey that you just took us through, and you actually put us into the next segment. We're going to wrap up. I want us to briefly talk about social media influence, right? Because that's where everything is happening right now. Online, literally, having this discussion. Then after that, I want us to go into the audience. I'm only going to take I think 5 questions, right? 5 questions. Make it, in a suspense. Because there's food available. I want us all to eat. I want us all to network. This is the opportunity to network. And I think we've been here for a long time. Are we together? You're taking all of this in. So let's quickly talk about social media influence. So with Mapaseka, you would think it's easy. Because she's on TV, it's easy to influence. But I'm pretty sure you also had your own things that how to maximize your brand online. Quick tips that you can log. Happy?
Social media, I guess it all depends on what you want. I like what Ligudi said and spoke about
how important it is to take yourself seriously. Image is important. It makes me so sad. Ha ke tla mo Bloemfontein ke bona batho ba ntsana le bone sekolo ba itlogelletse. Go itlhompha le go ithata has nothing to do with how much money you have. I don't want to lie. Sunlight teng, vaslapa teng, ikgwabinye. I have my skits on social media called Mqoqo Friday. Ke ipuela fela tsona ntho tsena tsa hore a ko hlape. You know what happens how qeta o kena metsing? Whether ke Vascom ha metsi a feta mmeleng. Something happens. Tlhapa man, please. The opportunity tse di metse hela wena o ikgwabinye fast hela di tletle batho ba modimo. It makes me sad how Mati. Ha ke lebala batho tsene le bona sekolo. Ha ke motho le o tla ba ka ke go Joburg ke tla go TV ntlabe ke lebala ke go itse le ka surname ke tla go gopola ke tsena ka classing I will remember you. Mara no metsi why? Is it because of yanong mo gae tšhelete ha eyo eng but vaslapanyana eo I'm telling you ikgwabinye o ihitisela fast go tlo go nna sharp. Ha ke ya ko social media ha o tlhoke le membership ya go ya ko Vision Active go gyma. O kana imathela wa ya up and down ka go ahlanya just for your well-being, for your mental health. We're struggling with anxiety. Next say it's anxiety. I think I've always had it. I didn't know anxiety. Anxiety, depression. I'm not saying there's no chemical imbalance, but I'm also saying that there are some of the things that social media. Tip number 1. It's a lie. Do not compare yourself to promote or to post. The social media oh ene ke mo khalla jwang ke mmatla ha o tsebe motho ha robetse ho tlamela etseng hore a thole ntho tsa nang le tsona mo bophelong. That's right. So ha o bona mamang a poster ska khala o ka nna oh that's a beautiful car, one day I'd like to have a car like that, but ska go bala go thoko ga mosamo because of wena ba tla koloi ya ga puleng. Secondly, what you want wants you. What you want wants you. If you want good things for yourself, they're on the other side waiting for you. If you want bad things for yourself, thirdly, what do you want on your social media? For example, me. I didn't buy any followers. I think people will say, oh my God, Pasi, you have 1.1 million followers, and unfortunately, I don't. It's a blessing, yes, that people really love me and really like my content. But I always calculate, okay, what is it that I'm going to post today? I think it took me 6 years for me to start being comfortable posting my daughter. Neki posted in Jaki, posted on Friday, but I was not comfortable posting my private life. And I realized, well, actually, I don't care. She's old, and she's like, I get Papa Lena, we pay the school fees. Yes. Ke content creator le. Yes. Secondly, how be ule motho e leng hore wena wa thaba ka baka la hore o thotse di likes o tlo kula. Ha ebe wena o thabiswa ke di likes. Let me tell you something. Look at this. I'll make an example. I have 1.something million followers on Instagram and Facebook. I post a picture. I'll get like 50,000 likes. Where is the rest? We'll have anxiety. It's unnecessary. I get the post. Living my best life. But in reality, the other boob is leaking. And that's the reality. I am not going to post hard relationship in dribble like illa. But the reality is, that's the truth. I'm human. Linna, sorry but shit hits the fan. It does happen to everyone. Thirdly, brands. Another brands that I've worked with, my ultimate goal was for people to call me by my name, not by Dintle. And it happened. Kaba Paseka, Dintle, scandal. It's slowly weighing off because of social media. There are so many positive things that social media regarding it all. TikTok is a new thing. Post these kids how TikTok. We see them. We repost on our stories. But some TikTok go for like the actors go TikTok. Bomme, I age group we be TikTok. How should I Instagram? Instagram ke lifestyle. Instagram. Okay, supposed to snell TikTok. Or post down to because nobody cares. So when I identify okay, highly Facebook you go di tabeng tabe ke post le maloba ke post le a smoothie go tla bontsha mentality wa rona ka include le nna kwa clarificationing mentality wa rona batho ba tlang locationing ke post le a smoothie ke re ke not smooth. O mong a re, "Ah, wena, o kgotse ka dibeko, o itira betere ka smooth." And I'm like, that's why ke ileng ko sekolong. Gore ke sa ka ja dibeko every day. Ya ke re. So no, o batla eng? O tla explain wena botlhale. Algorithm ya TikTok is different from your Instagram. The reason why I'm saying that is most videos following, we'll see them without having to follow them because of how much we share TikTok videos on our WhatsApps. So guys, if we're not all malepona, happening that makes you happy. Pona ka ngwana go mama ge. Happening when it makes you happy go posta ka lepona ona na go di likes tsele itla go dira happy. Ponaka, it is your choice, it is your life. But I don't want to lie, just the last thing. Taking care of yourself is important.
Yeah.
It helps also with your I never used to like gym. But now that I've started, every time I'm not feeling